Well, boys, it's been a minute since we did a tackle shop walkthrough, so it's 6 a.m. and I got one for you. But before we do, check this out. If you guys ever wanted to fish with me, or guys like Justin Lucas, Jordan Lee, Randy, just to drop a few names, Jacob Wall, so you're gonna get that chance. So stay tuned to the end of this video, dude. I have an awesome thing that I'm gonna tell you about, and you get the opportunity to fish with me, Jacob, all these really fancy dudes. But for now, we're going in the newest Guntersville Tackle Outdoors. So Guntersville Tackle Outdoors has 3 locations. There's one on the lower end of the lake, and I would describe that as, like, if you want to go ledge fishing, if you want to do some scoping, things along those lines, that's where you want to be, all the way down in Guntersville proper. And then there's waterfront. That's kind of like mid-lake. It's a little taste of both grass fishing, ledge fishing, offshore fishing, and this guy wants to be on the video. So that's kind of mid-lake. And then this newest location, this is Goosepond, dude. And Goosepond is known for probably one of my favorite things: flipping, frogging, grassing, swamp fishing. This is as close to Florida fishing as you're gonna get, dude. So a lot of the baits in here reflect that. There's gonna be some of the minnow dangling stuff, but there's gonna be a lot of frogs, a lot of creature baits, and just a lot of grass fishing, gritty, like old school kind of stuff. And they got food, so I'm gonna need a cup of coffee real quick before we get started.
Inside the drink machine.
Inside the drink machine. All right, now we're ready to go. We got the cup of coffee. This is Jane over here. That's Paul's wife. They both own all of these waterfront locations, waterfront GTO locations. But let's kind of break down what they got in store. These are the new Buka trick shads. These are from my buddy Mike Buka. These are kind of like the consumer version, but if you're looking for a good entry level like glide bait that works as a standard glide, you can chop glide it. Comes in pinky stinky, like there's a bunch of cool colors. And then we got my buddy Jacob Wall's sway minnow. So there is some minnow stuff here, a little bit of boat oil going down here. We did a video on the Nessie, a bunch of Berkeley stuff. Crush City has been huge. Always have Reaction Innovation stuff. They have a lot of like marine stuff as well, because there's like a little community over in Goosepond too. So there's a lot of people that like live here sometimes seasonally in that. So they have like odds and ends, right? Whether it's drinks, whether it's like little things to work on your RV, work on your boat, all those kind of little trailer plugs, stuff like that to kind of keep you going if you're down here on vacation, you run into some issues. These things have been super popular, and I've been messing them up on a bellows gill. I'm actually putting it mostly on a Carolina rig right here. Rage tail stuff. This is one I need to throw, dude. So you guys have seen me throw the little Menace, the standard Menace grub, and I'm fishing it just like a swimming worm quite a bit. The one I have not played around with and I need to is the Rage Menace, just to get some bigger bites. It's basically like a Mondo style kind of like craw grub that you can use as a swimming worm. And obviously, trick with tackle shops, whenever you see a peg that doesn't have that many in it, like that one, that's probably the color you need to buy, right? Here's where we kind of start to get into it. So this is what Goosepond's really known for, is the frog doggedy stuff, dude. There is a ton of grass up here. You got the scum frog, snag-proof frog. This is the new the zoo dog. These are kind of funky, dude. So they're like spooks, but it's made like a hollow body frog, and then there's a popping version as well. I will tell you one thing: if you try these, you got to bend the hooks out a little bit, otherwise you're gonna miss a few fish. You know, your standard, what the hell is that? A Vega frog. It's a big Mondo frog. That Berkeley Swamp Lord, this one's been super popular. Oh, the Kaera. This is an awesome Japanese frog right here. The Kaera is naughty, standard Spro, and of course you gotta have some jumbo donuts, right? Ooh, I see something I like. Cliff Face is not a forward-facing guy whatsoever, but he made a very good minnow, dude. I'm not saying it's Sakamoto level or anything, but the new black label, it's called the High Roller. Dude, it comes in some really sick colors. It's a little more durable than your Sakamotos, and it definitely has a different kind of like cut to it. It looks kind of like a fat fluke. And what's neat about it, you get that rolling action, but what I've found too is I've been catching a lot of fish reeling like a minnow instead of actually like shaking a minnow. So you can throw it out and it actually kind of kicks and swims on my little, on my live rocker jig. We're actually coming out with a new, I got a prototype live rocker jig with a bigger hook for some of these bigger baits. Don't tell anybody, don't tell anybody. So I've been using it to test out that prototype, and you get this cool swimming action without shaking it, because I think they're getting a little sick of seeing the so you gotta kind of be a little more natural. So a few more Japanese things. Drift fry, this one was real popular and you couldn't get it for a while. Everybody loves the spark shad, kind of a Kitech alternative. More mega bass stuff. Mag draft, always gotta have a mag draft, right? This is cool. Okay, so this is 44 Outdoors. This is my buddy Jake Parr. Absolute hammer on the lake. His dad is super cool, like old school hammer. They actually were way behind Ignite Baits. They put me onto the Ignite swim baits. If you guys remember, smashed them on those. But Jake started making rods. I think it's Tiger rods, and he's been going and getting into baits and that. And I think they've been like smashing them on his football jig. Him and Hayden Obar, they've been really, Hayden Obar has like multiple top fives in the Toyota series, and they've been smashing them on these jigs. And then I think it's paired up with they have like a kicking crawl. I'm not sure what it's called, but it's this guy right here. But awesome guys, super cool, and absolute hammers on the lake. So obviously the stuff that they make, yeah, it's probably gonna work, right? Kitech section, gotta have a Kitech, dude. Everybody tells me I need to throw this guy all the time, the Easy Shiner, and I got some, but I always just catch more on the Fat Impact. And I know you guys are gonna give me some hate in the comments for that, but gotta be real with you. Speaking of Ignite baits, so if you want a cool swim bait, especially if you're outside of Alabama and you're looking for something neat, these baits are like a classic OG mold, and they absolutely smash them. It has a different kind of like wobble. It's a little like fatter kind of bait. Comes in multiple sizes, like a little 3.5, 4, all the way up to like a 6-inch or a 7-inch. But they have some great colors, and they're kind of like laminated colors, so they get multiple kind of layers to really get realistic looking, and they swim really good, and they have a cool rock to them. My buddy Salzman, see, a bunch of guys in Guntersville make baits. So Salzman from True Bass, he made the FF Minnow. I know the Nut Boys, those hammers, dude, those kids that have been winning all those Toyota series, they are throwing this when they're minnow dangling quite a bit. And it's Salzman's kind of response to the Crush City, to Jacob Wheeler's minnow. Gotta have traps. This is one of the best trap sections of the lake during the winter. You know, your classic rattle traps, your Bill Lewis's. Of course, they got the Red Eye Shad, the Booyah One Knocker. This is one of my favorites, dude. But this place, especially if you come here and say like December, January, February, some of the best trap fishing occurs right here. This is where I always drop in. Missile, they have the Spunk Shad, and then they have the real Spunk Shad right next to it. ChatterBait Mini, another absolute tool up here. This is like one of my go-to trailers. This and a Komodo Junior. Gotta have you some 110s, and they are stocked up. My buddy Jacob Wall has been talking a bunch about this, the Thump Gel. I have not tried it, but he is obsessed with it. I need to get him to give me a little like tube so I can try it out. But Nico rig, terminal stuff, little sticking strips to play with your jerk baits and that, wacky rig tools, absolute essentials. This does not get enough love. If you guys don't have a little dip it chartreuse marker in your boat, you're doing it wrong. Here, these are the Tiger rods. These are cool little racks. So these are the Tiger rods that Jake makes that I was telling you about, and then there is a couple of Halo things in there. There's a bunch of Ducket stuff in there because I know my buddy Jacob works with Paul, and Ducket is right here in Guntersville. I do not do a lot of crappie fishing, but it is an absolutely huge thing, especially during the cooler months in the spring. There are some awesomely giant and mega schools of crappie, so there's a bunch of supplies from those are really cool. I could catch freaking smallmouth on those. Little hair jigs like that to your little trailers, and then actually the whole 6 cents kind of crappie line too. That's pretty badass. Oh, we forgot about ChatterBaits, dude. You can't forget about ChatterBaits. You got a nice selection of ChatterBaits. All you need right now is like that one, something in dark, dude, and then a ChatterBait Mini. Do they not have the we gotta have ChatterBait Mini Man. My bad. I was gonna say we gotta have a talk with Paul, but they got the Mini Max right here, dude. This is what you need. Little gold blade, 1/2 ounce and 3/8 ounce. I 100% guarantee you will catch them. Let me show you the outside real quick, because that's where they have their tournament stuff, and then we're gonna go grab Paul, and I'm gonna tell you how to fish with Justin Lucas, me, or Jordan Lee, and all those guys. So what's really cool is if you want to hang out, or if it starts storming, the reality is you get some storms during the summer, they got this whole like hangout place, and Jana told me, I don't know if you guys can see that squirrel right there, that's Paul's best friend. There's Paul and a squirrel. You Bog would love that, dude. He always wanted a squirrel as a pet. But they run a lot of tournaments out of this section of the lake because it can handle it. There's a giant parking lot. The boat ramp has like 5 lanes on it. So there's a bunch of real estate and infrastructure to run tournaments. There's a bunch of boat docks in that. So even if you don't have a boat, you can come fish off the docks, and they got a little place to run tournaments. This is actually where the Guntersville Gambler Free Tournament's going to be run out of. We're going out of Goosepond this year, which is kind of perfect because gamblers all like, swampy fish and grass kind of baits, and this is the perfect venue for it. Okay, let me go find Paul, and I'm going to tell you guys about just an awesome way to contribute and to take responsibility for us as anglers to give something back to the lake. And you can get something like a trip to fish with me, with Justin Lucas, with Jacob Wall, with one of the awesome guides out here on Guntersville. A bunch of prizes, dude. 4-hour trip. So let's go find Paul and I'll tell you about it. All right, like I promised, there's gonna be a way for you guys to fish with me, not so important, but like Jordan Lee, Randy, Hal. This is Paul, dude. Paul owns GTO, all the GTO locations, and he's doing something really cool for April of 2026. Can you run through it, man? Okay. Break it down.
What we've got is our goal is to help stop Lake Guntersville largemouth bass fingerlings at the MLF AA kickoff to the summer event in May 2026. 100% of the money that is raised is going to put fingerlings back in Guntersville Lake. This has been done now for the past 4 or 5 years with Chris Lane.
Yeah, I remember Chris doing it. Yeah. He was actually stocking like Florida bass, I think. Yeah,
exactly. And so that's going to continue, and hopefully everybody will jump on board and make the lake. I think that's why the lake is fishing as good as what it is. 4 to 6 pound fish are just easy to catch.
They are, dude.
And so, well, you know it as well as I do.
Well, it's probably, to be honest with you, right now, Lake Guntersville is probably one of the top 10 fisheries in the United States, even with all the pressure and the tournaments that it gets.
Exactly.
And the fact is, in my opinion, if you fish here, if you visit here, if you fish a derby here, you got a responsibility to take care of it. Like, you have to kind of participate in taking care of the fishery that's done so much for all of us. So it's a raffle, right?
Yes,
so you basically buy tickets. How much are they?
It's a donation of $20 per entry.
Okay.
So what that does is the more you donate, the more chances you have to win the 4-hour fishing trip with a lot of guides and a lot of pros.
You got like 25, like
36.
36. Randy, name some of those names off there real quick.
Jordan Lee, Justin Lucas, Randy Howell, Laker Howell, Mikey Balls.
Well, that's me. That one ain't so good. You might want to opt for some other ones. But you got some guides too, some like local sticks.
Yes, exactly. Well, let me get in. Andrew Norby and Cal Lane.
Oh, Norby, yeah.
Yes, exactly. They're going to be a big part of it. But, you got Chris Flint, Derek Remitz, Donald Johnson.
Dude, Remitz is old school.
Yes, he's old school. Lonnie Cochran. Mike Carter. Philip Chris, Scott Jernigan. Shane
Those are
Ellis.
all names that I know.
Yes.
Like, those guys have been on the lake for years.
Yes, they have. They have been on the lake for a long time. You got Miles Murray.
Miles is good.
Exactly. Matt Adams,
like
Tim
that'd be
Chandler.
like a $400 trip. Like, especially with the pro dudes. Like, it's
trip.
a freaking expensive trip.
And another thing is, I figured it up the other day, if everybody just donated $100.
Right.
Okay? That's 28 cents a day, Mikey.
Yeah.
To help restock Guntersville and make it continue to be like it is right now.
You sound like the chick with the dying dogs.
Exactly.
Just 28 cents a day can feed
But it ain't $19.99.
But yeah, it's a super cool thing. And what's nice about it, it's not just like, hey, give us a donation. You get something in return. I'm kind of transactional, as I've told Paul. It's all about doing something for the meaning of it, but you want to get something out of it. And the something is a free trip. You get a shot, a lot of shots. There's a lot of guys, 36 shots.
And that's growing.
At 4-hour trips. There's multiple guys on there. All of them can catch fish, or they're super cool, like me. But yeah, dude, you can have some fun, and you can be a part of a great cause and support something that takes care of really what is one of the best lakes in the country. So I'm going to put a little link on this. You guys can go through Venmo. You can old school mail a check. You can you call in? Cash app.
Call in.
You can do it in a variety of different ways.
One of the shops.
Any of the shops. So just a $20 raffle ticket. Support Lake Guntersville being even better than the best it already is, and get a shot at fishing with some really cool dudes. This is a great little deal, dude. It's a great way to support the lake and to really kind of give back to the lake that I know has given me so much. So I'm going to buy some raffle tickets. Maybe I get to fish with Randy Howell or one of those guys. But just remember, it's your responsibility to take care of your fishery, and that's what this represents. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do come down to Guntersville, say what's up to me, say what's up to Paul. 3 locations down in Guntersville proper, waterfront, and now right here at Goosepond, especially if you want to do some of that frogging and flipping. We will see you later, boys. I'm going to go drop the boat in and do some fishing. Hit that like and subscribe button for me. Later.